Hi, I'm Richard Heinz, known as the Miami Dog Whisperer, and I'm here today with my client Jennifer Creamer. This is George, her Australian cattle dog, and Jennifer came to us with a bad aggression problem with George. He would go after dogs, he didn't like kids, he barks frantically at guests who are here, he couldn't separate from her, so we had a whole bunch of issues that we had to clear up with him. But I'm going to let Jennifer tell her story of how bad he was and where we are now. We're 2 weeks later. This is actually our last class together, and she's on her way back to Canada. So it's been a very short period of time that we've been working with him, but we've come a long way with him in just 2 weeks. So I'm going to let Jennifer tell her story with George.
So as Richard said, I'm Jennifer, and this is my amazing and wonderful cattle dog, George. I got him about 3 years ago when he was 2 years old from a rescue, and he came to us with issues, and issues just got worse with us when he was with us. So for the past 3 years we've been through 4 trainers and spent a good couple $1,000s on trying to rectify his issues, which are aggression towards other dogs, aggression towards kids, and just anxiety issues in general. So I guess the big thing about going through these other trainers and spending all the time doing that, what we really figured out from that was that obedience is not behavior. If you have a dog with a behavioral problem, all the obedience in the world isn't going to change that issue. I mean, my dog could win any obedience contest, hands down. He listens like anything. We can't get him into a contest because he bites every dog that would be there. So, you know, there's a difference. What I really learned was that there was a difference. Obedience is not behavior. And what came to the point where we had to make a decision on whether we were going to keep George or not was that I'm getting married, I'm going to have kids, and I can't have a dog whom I can't trust around my kids. I love him. I love him, and I can't imagine him not in our lives, but you know, you got to make a choice. And so we were at our wits' end, and I wanted to try something completely different. I tried the same thing, clicker training, reward training, over and over and over again, with no real result. I got an incredibly obedient dog, but no rectification in the behavior issues, you know. So we went on a search, and we found Richard and his trainers and his dog training academy, and talked to Mary, and Richard came over to our house, and we did the little pre-consultation, and we decided to go with him. And it's been 2 weeks, and I have a completely different dog. When Richard talked to me about the philosophy on how they train, why they train, what they do, it really aligned with what I was looking for, because it was something completely different from the tries and tries and tries from the past. And yeah, I just made the decision that I was going to forget everything I knew, everything that I learned, and I was going to commit to this process and trust the process and just do it. And so we jumped in head first, and it's been 2 short weeks, and we started off with George in a muzzle, and now he is at the dog park. He's playing with dogs, he's letting dogs sniff him. Today we were at the park, and we actually used him as part of a therapy for a dog who has aggression issues towards other dogs, and George was the dog helping rehabilitate this dog. This is 2 weeks later.
He's the good one now. So we're using him as the example how to fix his problems.
And the funny part is, after I had the consultation with Richard, I had called my mom and my sister and was like, yeah, this guy says this, right? Like, he says, we'll see, we'll see. I'm willing to spend the money because it's our last ditch effort. It's different than anything we've ever done. Let's just do it. And it's funny because we see, and I'm just so happy. I mean, I cried the first time that we went to the beach, and he could be on the beach with kids and with dogs, and he could have fun, and we could have fun, and I could actually enjoy him like a dog, and he can enjoy his life as a dog. This is after 2 weeks.
And I have to say,
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. All the trainers, all the philosophies, and you had what everybody has. All those philosophies everybody goes through. I mean, it's the norm. Anybody out there who has aggression is going to have what you have. They're going to go through all those trainers and all the process and going to find out the same thing you did. It's not that easy. Like, you have to really, it's very complicated. But you weren't actually that hard to convince of the philosophy in the beginning, like some people, I guess because you've been there so many times. You just want it fixed. And it was different from what you had heard. You know, a lot of people, it's like you twist their arms and you got to tell them and they don't get it.
It comes to a point you got to make a decision. Either, like I was saying to Richard, the definition of crazy is repeating the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome. You finally find something different, and you just make a decision to commit to trusting you and the process, and you have to make that decision. You either want it to change or you want it to stay the same, and that's it. It's black and white.